Hello and welcome back to Spyro the Dragon.
Funny looking guys with the shock.
We're back here, and we now have all but 10 gems. For the simple reason, we have to do this again, I believe. So yeah, I quit playing for a while. I'm sorry. My sincerest apologies. Wait, I can't even, yeah, you can't even use this really. Huh. We have to go in a circle because the level resets. That's annoying. Okay, if I hit this. At least he tells me where the gems are. Where? Somewhere, definitely. Okay, first of all, let's get the crab. Honestly, come on. There we go. I think the swimming adds so much to the game. I know they've added a bunch of other features, but I think specifically swimming really opens the game up. Oh. Oh, I see where the gem is. We have to raise the water level up higher, though. Yeah, oh, for fuck's sake. Sub should be functional. Right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, sometimes, I don't know what, like, drives me to do this, but sometimes I, like, make sort of parodies of Reddit, like, Reddit posts. Stuff like, you know, am I the asshole for, like, rolling coal on a cyclist because he was cycling too close to my lane, and then I went back and hit him with my car. you know those kinds of really fucking stupid posts. So recently, I thought of a new one. This would be the thing you would post on Unpopular Opinion. I know there's more subreddits, but I only follow the ones with birds. That's, and the ones for, like, technical problems when I have them. But, hilariously, we were just talking about this, and I had the stupidest idea that was like, okay, so what if we may, you know, I believe that as a society we're not doing enough to subsidize the lives of retiree, like, suburban people. Okay, I already talked to him, but we have to do the other stuff now. The joke in that is, you know, where I'm from, suburbs aren't really a thing. However, the joke is, you know, in the US or whatever, wherever there are suburbs, they are basically just a giant wealth drain because it's a very... You have to maintain a lot of infrastructure, and yet it has a very low population density, so, not the most fun. Hello, you rat bastard, what do you want?
I'm trying to tame my new pet manta ray, but he just won't obey me. Hey, you're just about the right size to ride on his back.
Yeah, hop on the back and guide him through each... Oh, dear God. This is a part of the thing where, like... This is the worst part of this game. I'm sorry to any fans of Ripto's Rage, but I don't like the minigames at all.
I suppose I...
I suppose I owe you something. I was originally gonna actually let them talk, but I realized, pretty early on that just gets really grating. And now that it's tamed, I'd love to get into racing. Yeah, sure. Why not? My big issue with these kinds of minigames in these games is more that, you know, I'm trying to play a 3D collectathon, not, whatever this is. I mean, it's obviously inspired by, Banjo-Kazooie, but that's the worst part of Banjo-Kazooie. It's doing the random minigames. But we got the orbs now. You gonna say anything? No? Okay. But yeah, I was expecting I'd have trouble with it, just like with the, other minigame. But yeah, okay, that should have saved my progress. Where's that other guy? He's somewhere here. Am I stupid? We have to talk to one more guy to... Yeah, he's over here. Hi, buddy.
The water workers have kidnapped 6 of my children and hidden them in the tops of these numbered towers. I borrowed some explosives to blast the doors.
Yes. Okay, I'll do it.
If you can make...
Okay. Now, there's 6 towers, which... I don't remember this from Panzer Dragoon. So that's one of them. So then the second door opens. Okay, that's gonna be gone. And yeah, these are just gonna get harder and harder. So that's number 1. Where's number 2? But yeah. Generally, okay, we have to go down. Generally speaking, I was thinking about this. So, my recent-ish video, the N64 having 64 bits being a bad thing, you know that one? The one with Wario in the thumbnail? I think that's really what sells people on it. And maybe the fact that I, excluding a dumb editing mistake, know what I'm talking about. Okay. Whatever. Oh, there's a crab. Anyways, yeah, point is, that video is getting a lot of, like, sort of residual views, which is not something I'm really that used to. I'm used to, like, having videos get views and then kind of taper off, but this one gets, like, sudden spikes. And the nicest thing is, people are actually talking in the comments, sharing their own insights, which... Are they always correct? Well, the YouTube comments, but I have to say, they are far more intelligent than most comment sections. Probably because the topic at hand is something so specific that it kind of weeds out, like, the average, clueless sort of, you know, Zuma type, or, like, Gen Alpha. You know, the kind of guy who's, like, born in 2008... because this is the funny thing, like, I am an atypical Zoomer, in some ways, I guess. When you're talking about, like, Gen Z, or whatever, I feel like that's genuinely the most infuriating thing about the generational thing, which, keep in mind, generations are made up, but with Gen Z, the way it's set up is just really dumb, because it's from, like, 1998 to, like, 2010. And, to be clear, that is from, like, the release of Ocarina of Time, and, like, fucking, you know, Spyro 1, through 9/11, through, like, you know, just so many world events, through the global financial crash, through, like, the birth of the modern internet, and it's all just one generation. And I think there's, like, a sort of middle gap where, like, I think I would personally say it's around 2004, 2005? Where, like, that should be it, right? Yeah, okay. I need to get health, and then we'll save the game for one, manually, and then we'll, do the one thing which you, always do. Leave. But yeah, an issue you kind of run into is the fact that, hello. Okay, that is a good one. That's an even better one. Okay, the world has been saved. We did it, Patrick. But yeah, like, in 05, right? People, like, I'm gonna just say the release of the PSP changed the universe.
Spyro. Now that you have 6 talismans, this door will open. Okay, Spyro, jump through that hole in the floor to get down to Crush's dungeon. I'll help you by tossing sheep through the hole if I can catch them. Good luck.
What level are we on? We're in the semaphore. Okay, yeah. We need to go into the next world to learn how to climb. So, have we even done... I'm gonna say we've done all the levels so far. We'll see. I don't want to do that flight level. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so...
Before you get to the castle dungeon,
Never mind, there's a
Spyro,
cutscene.
I thought that you might want to know how Ripto and his monsters arrived in Avalar. You see, last week in the winter tundra, the professor was working on some new super portal technology.
There. That's the last orb in place. Now let's see. All we need are some coordinates.
Yeah, how about 22475? That's my birthday.
No, Hunter, don't!
What?
Get off! Get off me, you useless buffoons! Why can't either of you? Where are we? No dragons. Wonderful. Crush, go back and pack my bags. We're moving in. Say hello to your new king.
Professor, shut it down! Hurry!
Oh my, oh my! I can't see the switch. I think I've broken my glasses.
Crush, go through the portal, you idiot!
To all your friends to take the orbs and scatter them throughout Avalar, quickly!
No! Go! Crush! Get the orbs now! No! You despicable little creature! I'll kill you!
This is bad news for Avalar. Hunter, why didn't you chase him?
Yeah, I would have gone after him. But didn't he say something about not liking dragons?
Professor, could we catch a dragon to help us?
Yes, I think so. We'll need a world that has an alignment much better suited to intercepting one of these creatures. How about Glimmer?
Good idea. We better go right now.
So that's... okay, bastard. Anyways, yeah. Point is, we have a boss fight here. However, more importantly, in regards to, like, Gen Z, I feel like it's not even really a year thing, it's an exposure thing. Like, and I think the best way to describe this is, did you watch stuff like, the AVGN when you were a kid? Did you, you know, how exposed were you specifically to, like, you know, older video games and that sort of stuff? Because I believe that, like, that is kind of, the big thing, right? If I was mostly exposed to, only, like, generic, like, Wii games and the occasional live service thing, whatever, when I was a kid, I guess... Actually, no. I mean, I'm trying to think about this, right? If you were, like, a late Zoomer, you would be maybe more exposed to the Wii U as your first system. So I guess it'd be more like, I guess it'd honestly be more like mobile games if you were, like, a very late Zoomer. Because if you would imagine, right, if you were born in, like, 2008, by the time you were old enough to play video games, chances are mobile games would be a huge thing. Oh, am I gonna lose to a Spyro boss? Oh, wait, there's a sheep here. Holy, okay, come back, hey, bastard. Fucking, oh my god. Fuck! I got trapped on the sheep. I finished Mega Man Legends yesterday. And I think it's kind of funny that I'm being filtered by a boss in Spyro. But okay, it's fine. Okay, there we go. I'll try that again. Anywho, my point is, like, if you grew up mostly, like, you know, mostly looking at older YouTube stuff like the AVGN Game Grumps, you would have probably had, like, you know, a bit of a fascination, a bit of a love for, like, you know, older, sort of retro-y games, you know, the PS1, especially the older Nintendo stuff, you know, that sort of stuff. However, if you mostly grew up, you know, watching modern stuff, and maybe, like, you know, looking at mobile games like, you know, fucking Clash of Clans, your perception of gaming is... Actually, I don't know when Clash of Clans came out, so maybe Angry Birds would be a better example. I don't know, but, you know, your perception of video games would probably be kind of fucked. Even during the 2000s, I feel like that'd be true, depending on what you played, because you gotta remember, a lot of people back then still, you know, they had the Wii, or whatever, you know, and nothing else. So it all just kind of depends on, you know, the kind of stuff they played. But generally speaking, like, fuck. The reason why I like to sort of differentiate between that is because so often, like, oh. Ah! People will just kind of make, they'll talk about, like, generations and stuff, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like oftentimes when you run into, like, really stupid stuff about retro games, it's from people who have, like, of quite unique experiences in a negative way. Okay, there we go, we're done. Maybe now I can actually think and figure out what I want to say.
Now, Crush!
What are they doing?
You may have been able to defeat that simpleton, but Gulp will be more than a match for you.
Bring it on, Shorty.
Gulp, come here now! Destroy him, and make sure it's painful. What? The roof? Gulp, get me out of here! So long, dragon.
Bastard.
What a wuss.
Oh, hey, the guidebook is expanded. Oh. Well, we saved one land. And now we can finally learn how to climb. We just have to pay that fucking moneybags bastard.
That Ripto has caused enough damage. All his meddling has cost me a fortune. If it wasn't for Spyro, I'd be bankrupt. If Ripto were here, I'd give him a piece of my mind. In fact, I'd give him a lot more than that. I was a champion bantamweight boxer at university, and I still know a few moves. Take that, and that.
Boo.
Why, you...
Oh, that's a problem. But yeah, we're gonna have to get the climbing ability and then go into the earlier levels. Anyways, where is the bastard? First of all. Hello there, buddy. What?
Well, I've been...
Yes. Thank you. Now I can finally climb, and this should send me back to, the other place. Yeah. Anyways, what I was gonna say is, there's a specific sort of gap, unlike the before and after, but it's not like an age thing, it's more an experience thing, where, like, Hazumers who grew up with, you know, retro experiences will grow to respect them, but you gotta realize a lot of Zoomers didn't. When I was probably a little bit too young to watch it, I was watching, like, AVGN and that sort of stuff, so, you know, to me, like, retro stuff was, kinda... It's honestly weird, because to me a lot of the retro stuff was like, you know, specifically 2D, and the PlayStation I still saw as like, kind of modern. We're missing a single gem somewhere. Really? Oh?
Your game?
No, go away. I'm trying to figure out where the fucking gem is. Okay. But yeah, generally speaking, the difference is kind of, you know, a lot of people don't grow up with that sort of stuff, so to them, retro stuff is just kind of old, and they don't hold any kind of connection to it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but, there's this sort of, like... I don't want to call it this because some people are gonna be unhappy about it, but there's this sort of level of, like, I'm gonna call it Zoomer, like, a disrespect. Oh, that is it's very far away, apparently. Like, there's a sort of Zoomer disrespect, people have to, a lot of this stuff, and, it's a pretty big shame. I have to go to the surface. Where are you pointing me? Huh? Still over there. Wait. Which is... Huh? Hold on, hold on. Up? Am I stupid? No, 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 wait. Is it in here? Somewhere. No, 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 no. I have to go the other way. Now we'll find it. We still have to do glimmer and stuff. Let me see. I can't see it over here. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Look, my point is, if you're, like, you know... I feel like it's, way too Oh my god, I see it. Okay. I need to get up here, man. Oh, I see. I'm stupid. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like in some ways, there's an inherent... I remember seeing this question recently, which was like, wow, I think the DuckStation emulator is really cool. However, are we, is there anything, you know, the system is so old and outdated. Is there anything really worth playing on it? Real post I've seen from someone. And I just have to say, like, you know, when that post was made, people were looking at it in the chat and they were like, what the fuck? You know, they were obviously, like, kinda grossed out because it seemed stupid and weird. But what these people haven't considered is the sad fact that this isn't an uncommon opinion. As much as it pains a lot of people to say it, the idea that, like, PS1 games are old and archaic and unplayable is, you know, and ugly, and, you know, it's stuff a lot of, especially younger people, think because they haven't been experienced, you know, they haven't had the experience, or they just haven't been exposed to it properly yet. And in a way, it's not their fault, but again, in another way, you should probably not talk about things you have no experience about. I understand, like, saying this on YouTube is not a smart thing to say, especially, you know, considering how much of the platform is entirely just comprised of people who... Like, there are entire sections of the platform entirely comprised of people who are just giving their uninformed take on something that's currently happening, regardless if it's something, you know, completely unserious or extremely serious. And, it's just the way things are, sadly. Do we have all the gems? No, we're missing 11. Where could they be? I guess we'll find out. Have I not... No! For fuck's sake. I didn't want to go through the portal. Go back in. But yeah, it's that sort of issue where... Man, people are just gonna be the way they are, you know, especially in terms of video game tastes. We are in an era, in an unprecedented era of, like, internet rage bait. Trolls have always, keep in mind, right? Trolls have always existed, and people who are contrarian have always existed. The former group is harmful, the latter group can actually give some interesting arguments, even if generally speaking, contrarianism for the sake of it can be pretty fucking annoying as well. But, the main point I'm trying to make is the fact that, like, when you're talking about something such as, you know, the internet discourse, in the last, you know, especially couple years, I know there's, like, studies on how, like, the 2020s have made people a lot more, like, just generally speaking negative and a lot more, like, you know, cold. Which, I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised. But, my point is, very often when these kinds of, you know, things are cited, while they are completely true... they also should take into consideration the fact that, like, you know, everything has gotten kind of... You know, you can't really blame people. Because, in a way, things have, especially, like, over the last 20 years, things in basically every single hobby, from, like, fucking... You know, in literally everything. Games are more expensive. Tech in general is more expensive. Even cars are more expensive. You should watch, like, an old Top Gear video where they're comparing used, like, V12 cars that you can all buy in, at the time, you know, good condition, under 10k. Because that's how, like, it was back then. Prices weren't absolutely insane as they are now. And I feel like a lot of the, like, negativity which people point to in, you know, modern gaming or modern this and modern that is all just kind of a side effect of, we have to go back there, damn it. I feel like it's all just kind of a side effect of, you know, video games. Sorry, not video games. It's all just a side effect of, like, just the fact that things are, you know, kind of economically unhappy or whatever. I mean, people weren't burning witches in, like, the... I forget when that was. But, you know, people weren't doing that because they were happy with how things were going. People were just, you know, trying to find things to blame for their problems. And then there's that, like, really stupid, but also kind of accurate sketch where it's like, ah, yeah, that witch turned the cat. You know, she killed the cat and turned her into a cat soup. She's a witch. And then they find the cat and they're like, she used her witch powers to bring the cat back to life. She's a witch. There's so much of that still happening. Just the witch hunts are thankfully against, like, video games and stuff and not, like, real people. Which I guess is an improvement. But as sad as it may be, we're reaching, you know, an unprecedented, era of rage bait. And you should probably try your best to avoid it from happening. Okay, we have to reach, Sunny Beach. And, we'll do that next time, and then continue doing Autumn Plains. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.